I'm very vocal about how I feel about running backs. I think running back is one of the most undervalued positions in the league, because you have to be able to catch, you have to be able to run, you have to be able to pass block. Like that's a lot of jobs you have to do as a running back. A lot of people get drafted high and then they don't really work out, so people believe that devalues the position. And then when you can find Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry, and these guys late in outside of the first round, a lot of people then believe that, running backs don't have to be drafted in the first round. Value is value. If it's a good player, you get the good player. That's how I feel about this particular running back, Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson is I don't know if Bijan Robinson is the most complete back, but watching him, I haven't had as much fun watching a running back prospect since I watched Ezekiel Elliott out of Ohio State. So watching Bijan Robinson is fun because he does everything from running to catching to solid pass blocking, making people miss. He's incredible. So this first play here, these first two plays we're going to look at are against Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns. And so one of the things as I run this play here, and I'm going to talk, one of the things that you have to do as a running back is make people miss, right? Your offensive line, they're going to open up a hole, but a lot of times you may have a defender that's there that you have to hurdle or run over or, juke or, spin around. Like you have to avoid that one defender. It's you and that defender one-on-one. So as a good running back, you make that defender miss however you feel is best. So this particular play here is just a little inside zone run as the H-back tight end is going to pull around right before they get to the mesh point. He's going to meet them here. He's going to pull around and he's going to get contact here on this particular defender. Boom. It's a good block. It's a good hit. But with this, I feel like this play, I'm not in the Texas playbook, but I feel like if this play was to work properly, this H-back pulls around, gets a hat on him. This particular tackle goes to the second level. Bijan goes in untouched, but it's a running back and it's football. It never goes perfectly. But whenever that happens, Bijan has to be able to make this guy miss. That's all he has to do, make him miss. Bijan, the way Bijan makes a lot of defenders miss is he plants his right foot into the ground and he sets him up. So the defender, he's on his heels right now because he doesn't know which way Bijan's going to go. He doesn't know what he's going to do. So Bijan plants that right leg into the ground. Boom. Immediately gets upfield. A lot of running backs like to bounce outside, like Tank Bigsby, all that bounce. None of that matters. Get upfield. Try to get to the end zone. So now you have a defender that's left one-on-one with Bijan Robinson with an arm tackle. I'm taking Bijan Robinson every time. And he just runs through the arm tackle. Look at when you're in this position as a defender, you never want to be in that position, right? And he just runs into the end zone. It's a touchdown. You have to make people miss. Now, another element of Bijan's game here as we look at the second play from the Louisiana game is his ability to make people miss or to break tackles, to get people miss tackles. And so they're going to run this little stretch play here with the pulling lineman here. Not really a good block, but Bijan is like, that's fine. I can shake him. That's not an issue. So breaks a tackle, and he gets out of bounds. Every defender that touched him was on the ground and he was still standing. That is the kind of player that Bijan Robinson is. It's hard to get him down. They run this stretch play again here. Now, a lot of running backs, some running backs would like to go up here and try to get that. If this block was better, I could see that. But it's designed to go out here as this lineman here is supposed to pancake this player. That's what's supposed to happen. But as you can see, Bijan has the speed. He has the hand out to extend so nobody can catch him. You have defenders flying, grasping, and then he lowers his contact balance is ridiculous. Look how he's standing. He's almost squatting. And they go to wrap him up. Slides off. Like not just in one motion. Defender comes down again. He flies off. Look at this. That's turf. He flies off. Bijan runs, keeps his balance, and he goes out of bounds. That's Bijan Robinson. It's only 2 plays. We're going to look at the Iowa State game after this here. And Bijan's going to take this handoff, make a defender miss, get up the field. Kind of similar to the first play we watched against the Raging Cajuns. But we're going to watch it from the end zone angle here. And I really want you to see just the way it, like, how seamless it is for him to make people miss. So he takes the handoff here. It's going to be a run up the middle here, kind of like an inside zone. This defender is free. He's completely shedded the block here. A really good shed, by the way. And as a defender, you have to be happy because you're like, I got him. This is it. The exact same move that he did against Louisiana. Plants that right foot, makes him miss, has him grasping. He's for air. Nothing's there. He stopped, plants his foot again, and he gets right back upfield. That is the aspect of his game that I love because, as I say, running backs like to bounce around, and I'm going to try to look for contact. No, Bijan's like, I'm going to plant my foot, get away from this D tackle, plant my foot again, go right back upfield, and run and break some more tackles. That encapsulates Bijan's game. You know, it's not a lot of flaws in his game as we get to this Kansas State game. And I know that, like, some people will feel like, well, you're only picking out the good things. It's not a lot of flaws. Like, it's hard to find bad Bijan Robinson plays, right? Because he does everything so well. So this is going to be a run here against Kansas State. And Bijan is going to actually end up housing this, for a really, really long touchdown. But this is the other underrated part of his game. Not really underrated, but it's a part of his game that makes him special. And a lot of running backs are not able to do what he can do in this particular position, right? So it's going to be another stretch play here where, like a stretch zone, the line's going to pull to the right. Bijan is going to see his hole here. Is this his lane? This is his landmark. He has to go through here. He notices it, but it shuts down very quickly as you have a defender coming backside, a defender completely shaking this lineman here, and really a defender here that's almost about to shed this block and someone coming down from the safety position. So look, the play looks dead, right? And I feel like if I showed you a clip right here and I said, hey, do you know he scored on this play? You probably call me crazy, but he did, because this is what he is. He keeps his balance. He's almost down on the ground. And instead of going down, he plants himself with his left hand, gets his balance, heads right upfield. This is what makes him special. Plays like this, where it almost looks dead. Some running backs will just go down and avoid the contact. Bijan is always looking to stay upright. Plants his hand into the ground. He gets upfield. This is a solid running back. This is a first-round player. An aspect of his game that I had mentioned was his pass blocking, and I think he's an efficient pass blocker. He's not going to blow you away as a pass blocker. He's not Zeke at Ohio State, Zeke might have been the best pass blocking running back I've ever seen in college. But he was not Ezekiel Elliott when it came to pass blocking, but he's a solid pass blocker. He knows it's his job to keep his quarterback upright, and he throws his body in the way. And that's all I can ask for if you're a running back. I can't ask you to set your feet and kick, slide, and do all the stuff that offensive linemen do, because it's not your job, right? So I can't really ask you to do that. But I can ask you to be smart here, right? And this is a really, really intelligent play by Bijan Robinson, right? So Bijan is not really focused on anything on this side of the field. So from in the tackle box, he's not focused on anything in there, because there are only four defenders and all five linemen. So really you have a lineman, you have the tackle, the guard, the center, and the guard. And if this defender decides to rush, then you have the tackle out here, and you also have the tight end as well, right? So Bijan is focused because they know that the blitz is coming, just based off film study, right? So now they have to determine where this blitz is coming from. The only location the blitz can come from is the corner off the screen, or this defender right here, right? Because everybody else, they're down. And this linebacker's not going to rush over the center. So we're going to run the play here. And really, it encapsulates everything that I love about Bijan Robinson. So the ball is snapped, and immediately you get a dual block here, They bail. 17 rushes, as I mentioned. Tackle gets hands on him. Tight ends out, running a flat route. And now this leaves Bijan Robinson one-on-one. So Bijan did a really good job of staying set in this particular position here, because this defender could have dropped back into coverage or could have went after this tight end here. And this defender here, number 7, could have rushed, right? He could have rushed, and Bijan would have been there to meet him. But you get the rush here from number 9, and Bijan is going to notice it immediately. He's going to run to it. You know, a lot of running backs, they'll stay and they'll wait for pressure to come to him. Not Bijan. He's going to meet you there. He's going to run. Boom. Get contact on him. Not really fundamentally sound, as I mentioned, but he does enough to get his running back out of trouble and to let him step up and run. And he's going to complete this ball down the field for about, 10 or 15 yards or so for a first down. But this is one of the aspects of his game that I love, because you'll see some running backs who just won't care and will not pass block. They just, they'll throw arms or reach and completely whiff, and not Bijan Robinson. He's going to try to get hands on you, and he's going to meet you there, and he's going to protect his quarterback, and that's his job. That's what I love. So this next play here is going to be this is going to be against Iowa State in 2021, and so we're going to let this play run as we get to the end zone angle. Good read by the quarterback to run that with the open field. So we get to the end zone angle. So here we go. We got Bijan here to the right of the quarterback. I want you to focus here on this particular defensive tackle, right? Because first, I want you to see how he completely just works this guard here. It's ridiculous how he just kind of gives him almost like a stutter step or a jab step, completely goes over him and is on his way to the quarterback. And it's just step, boom, get off me. Completely sends the guard to hell, basically. Bijan's looking. Look at his eyes. He's looking here. Well, nothing's here. Nothing's here. No one's blitzing. Bijan looks. He comes back. It is a 330-pound defensive tackle in front of him, between him and the quarterback. So what does Bijan do? He hits that shoulder, the left shoulder. Boom. Sends the defensive tackle back completely. Almost knocks him down. Has him stumbling. Knocks him to his knees. This is a 330-pound defensive tackle. And Bijan is like, yeah, I'll give you that work. Completely hits him. Catches him off guard. He blocked better than the guard. Just lowered the shoulder. Boom. Sends him back. Gets his quarterback to step up. His quarterback gets the opportunity to run and get some yards. And so if you can do this as a running back, you're a solid running back. You can thrive as a first-round pick in the NFL. And the final aspect of Bijan's game that I wanted to talk about was his ability to catch out of the backfield, right? So I think, like, when you compare him to Najee Harris ended up catching 75 balls as a rookie in the NFL. In college, he was a solid pass catcher. He caught 80 passes in 51 games. He caught 75 in his first season in the NFL, right? Now, Bijan in just 19 games has half the catches. It took 51 games for Najee to get to 80 passes. Bijan's only had 19. He's halfway there. So he's going to get there in less games. Najee went on to become an elite pass catcher as a running back in the NFL. So Najee Harris was a very good pass catcher in college. Bijan Robinson is better, and I believe he's going to be a very good pass catcher in the National Football League. I really believe that he can be the Christian McCaffrey type, 100 receiving, 100 receptions. Like, I truly believe that that's what he can be. That's what he brings to the table. That's how dynamic he is. And so I'm going to look at two plays here to wrap up. The first is going to be against Oklahoma State. And so I'm going to run this play here. As Bijan he's actually going to motion. There you go, the arrow on him. He's going to motion out into the slot. And he's going to run a route where I guess this is another somewhat of a flaw, where the route does kind of come off as a little lazy. It's not as crisp as I would like it, because he's already looking back for the ball, right? And so I probably would want to see him run hard to this hash mark, then go ahead and run that in route like he ended up doing. But he ends up crossing up the defender because the defender is playing with his hips open. Bijan crosses his face. That's easy. He catches the ball, does what he does, makes a defender miss, breaks the tackle, and he goes, gets upfield, lowers his shoulder, gets more yards, right? So as you can see, he's a solid receiving option out of the backfield. I think he'll end up being a great option. But again, as we run the play here, the route is a little lazy, but he does a good job of crossing that defender's face. Catches the ball. He runs. He gets a few more yards here. We'll let this play finish out. Then we're going to go to the Kansas State game after this particular play here. So this is going to be the Kansas State game in 2020. And this is actually going to be a screen pass here to Bijan Robinson. And the blocking, it develops. Bijan catches the ball. It's a good throw to get over that defender as well, but Bijan catches the ball. The first thing you notice about Bijan Robinson a lot, and like I mentioned in the first clip, Bijan's always looking upfield. It doesn't matter if he's catching, if he's making someone miss, if he's running a stretch zone, or he's running anything, a toss, anything. He's always looking to get north-south because he understands that north-south is where the end zone is. All right, so he's not concerned with trying to juke you and get around you and pitter patter at the line of scrimmage. No, he's gonna run to get north-south, and he's gonna try to score every play. And so, as I said, this screen's going to run here. He's going to break a few tackles, break another tackle, and then it takes the defensive tackle running up to get him down. And it's just an aspect of his game that I feel that makes him complete. When it comes to his rushing or to his catching and ability to break tackles, he has 108 missed tackles since 2020. That's the most in the country. He has 1,300 yards after contact. His career total for yards is 2,321 total yards. Over 50% of his yards in college have been after contact. He does nothing but break tackles. That is an efficient running back. That's a first-round player. So as we run this play here again to close out the video, I just want to say, as I said at the top of the video, if you can play, you can play. I don't care what position you play. If you can play, you should be a first-round pick. And I believe that Bijan Robinson is a first-round pick. I believe he brings greatness when it comes to running the ball and breaking tackles. I believe he brings greatness when it comes to catching the football out of the backfield. And I believe he is very solid as a pass blocker. And I truly believe he's running back number 1 and will be a first-round pick. Believe he'll go higher than Najee Harris when I think he'll be a top 20 pick in the NFL draft.